This is Larry Zbyszko, wrestling's living legend, and you're watching Monty and the Pharaoh.
Injured is to grow up and be a man. Come on.
All right, man. Welcome to another episode of Monty and the Pharaoh, seen only here at Village Connection Radio. Every Thursday from 8:05 to 9 p.m. only in Rockstar Studios. Again, to my right with his flawless execution, Stephen Miller. How are you, sir?
Yo.
And then to my other right is none other than the star of the show, Jimmy Pharaoh.
Hello.
And then on the day, we'll call the guest couch. Actually, they did some renovations to the station, so looks really nice in here. Props to Jimmy and what's that other guy's name? Pete.
Pete.
I think
wow.
Pete made a return and helped out.
Yes.
But anyway, none other than Larry Moorman. How are you, sir, Larry?
Good. Happy always to be back. And you know very well it's going to rain every time I'm showing up.
Is that the
here.
pattern? I hadn't noticed.
So. Last few times.
Interesting.
Larry has a pro wrestling show called Talking More Wrestling. I think it's every Saturday. You're doing every other Saturday.
Every Saturday, 6:05 p.m. Eastern, or as close as possible that I can get it to.
Yeah, and Larry and I were speaking about keeping kayfabe. Before we start, though, we're supposed to have another guest in, Bob. We're just going to call him Bob because he doesn't want his last name broke out there. Bob.
Gotcha.
Bob, who's a fan of the show and is a good friend of mine, actually built our website this week. It's not ready to go live yet, but it's looking fresh. What do you think, Pharaoh?
It's looking mighty fine. Me like.
Good. I mean, that's a start. How was your weekend there, Pharaoh?
Good.
Yeah?
Crazy. Mixing. Got another tune down. Sent it off.
Yeah.
Laid down the vocals, laid down the harmonies, made sure the rhythm was good. All good. Off to Canada it goes. Off to the genius. Not Lanny Poffo, another genius.
Right.
Off to Clifton David Broadbridge, guitarist extraordinaire, producer extraudinaire. He will now take it, throw fairy dust on it, and it'll be all finished.
How long till the album's complete?
Well, we're on number 4. Tune number 4 for album number 2. We're doing 3 to clip. I think I mentioned that to you in private.
Mm-hmm.
And we're now doing the second batch of 3, so we just sent number 4 in. So it seems
great.
to be going very well, very smooth. He's awesome to work with. Non-confrontational, totally into the vision, plays to the vision because he's actually adding instrumentation to it. This guy's great.
That's good.
We're enjoying it.
Good.
Yep.
Well, if you fans out there don't already know, what you probably do, Wisteria Hall is Jimmy Pharaoh's band with Bart Griggs. Both wonderful musicians, and on the website you'll be able to hear the first EP. I think 12 songs, so that'll be playing on a 24-hour loop.
Mm-hmm. Produced by Eddie Kramer from Led Zepp, Jimi Hendrix.
Yeah, produced by Eddie Kramer.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah,
so
not bad.
Once the second album, the EP, is released, we're looking at putting that on the website. But
Thank you.
I think we got a lot of good stuff coming. Very excited about the website. It's a little bit different. Larry, you actually do a show not in a studio, right?
No, my all my shows are in my basement.
Okay.
Which is my apartment.
All right.
You're already aware. No, but I like it. It's all, as much as you guys are visual, I'm more, I like to do podcasting, so it's audio, so I can kind of really do it everywhere.
Yeah.
But as long as I have the right equipment, good to go.
Right.
So, but
and if the host is engaging like you are, then it's all good.
And you do it for pure joy and love of it, right?
Right now I do. Eventually it'd be nice to be able to retire one day.
Yeah.
But for now I'm having an absolute like this week and next week I'm just going to be so busy just doing a lot of stuff, talking about WrestleMania, that we're almost there, that I'm like a kid in a candy store again. Well, me in a candy store again.
Pro wrestling, I thought about this in a It's a strange analogy when it comes to you, but I thought about this. You're almost like the wrestling Deadhead, because when think about the Grateful Dead, how the Deadheads always travel around and follow them. It seems like wherever there's an event, there's Larry Mormon. You're not selling any funny stuff outside in the parking lot, are you?
No, like the event T-shirts, bootlegs with little cigarette holes in them. Like I got a Bon Jovi
You
concert.
really are. You're
90s.
like the
Yeah.
classic wrestling Deadhead.
Good
It's
Lord.
Larry, you
interesting.
touched on a really interesting
I like
point,
it,
though.
though.
Is this something that you think that could be a future in your life, as far as maybe being a wrestling announcer, wrestling interviewer?
Certainly, I've thought about it. I think I will pat myself on. I'll Barry Horowitz myself.
Sure.
And I think it can be. A couple years ago, someone approached me who tried to start up again Pro Wrestling Syndicate. I think you remember it was out in
I remember
Jersey.
PWS.
So I actually did a WrestleMania like kickoff show a couple years ago, just on my Facebook. And the guy saw it, and he wanted me to do a podcast for his show. And I remember we were getting ready to do that show 2 years ago, and he was like, I may use you as the play-by-play, or the announcer in the ring. I'm like, whatever you need me to do. I ended up working Teddy Hart's merchandise table, but at least I was there,
Right,
and I was
okay.
part of it.
Nothing wrong with that.
No, not at all. And
Everything's got to have a beginning, right?
absolutely, I have no problem if that needs be to pay my dues, but I can definitely see myself.
So very, very interesting, right? I always in my life have enjoyed people with passion, because legitimately I have no passion. I'm
What are you talking about?
No,
You don't watch this show every week?
Well, so a little bit different, right? So I really appreciate the fact that Miller, you got your mic on, because I'm going to come to you, so I'll make sure you're ready. I really enjoy someone who has a passion like that. Obviously, me and Jimmy have been friends for a long time. I know what his passions are,
Yeah.
and if it's fair, you can speak for yourself. But Jimmy's done well in the music industry in his past, and this whole wrestling thing, he's always loved wrestling. The Pharaoh name has grown in the short time
Absolutely.
we've been using it. And he's become an entity in there. And you, Mr. Miller,
Yes.
quite obviously, as being a top 10 writer, okay?
At one point, yes.
Yeah, but
There you go.
It happened, so
it
it's
happened.
there.
So it's not like it
Yep.
didn't happen.
Yeah.
Are you when you reached your pinnacle in that situation with
Yes.
book writing, right? So when you see someone like Larry and has a dream of doing it, do you look at it like, that's not really a legitimate dream, or do you think, how does that work?
I actually think that it's...
Or is that really a stupid question?
No. I think it's a great question. I think it's more than a legitimate dream. It's the fact that, somebody's got to do it. So why not the guy who dives deep into it, into the deep end of the pool, rather than some just shithead journalism school guy who's like,
Yeah.
"Hi, I'm
Right.
an announcer."
Sure.
And it's happened so many times. I mean, like my perfect example of that is like, remember when Mike Adamle?
Yeah, I know who you're
from
speaking
American
about.
Gladiators.
What a
He had no real
wipeout.
background. I mean, granted, later on they found out he had some issues that probably led to all that. But be that as it may, to have that passion, and especially for the way I'm trying to put the spin on things, where I do see a lot, and I know you guys always have, and you have your strong opinions, which I love, but there's a lot of shows out there who just, it's like they watch the product to bash the product.
Right.
And that's what drives me nuts, because
No,
why watch? I get disagreeing with stuff. I'm sure we're going to disagree on a lot of stuff tonight, but at least we still love it. But there's a lot of people who just, every time you talk to them, they're like, this is just,
Yeah, that I don't
then
get
why
either.
watch it?
Yeah, I don't understand
Great
that
point.
either.
Farrell, what do you want to get out of this, brother?
What do I want to get out of what?
The show.
The show?
Yeah.
Look, I dream big. I don't dream little. I don't get up in the morning and have tiny little thoughts. I want to get shit done. I want to get to the highest level possible. I'm never satisfied. I was raised to never be satisfied. Nothing's good enough unless it's done more and more and more. Everything must become committed to memory. Everything must become reflex when you're a performer. You must sharpen your gimmick. You must sharpen. And this is a shtick, folks, by the way. Who is the real Pharaoh? None of your business. You know what I mean? But
Do you know who the real Pharaoh is?
Well, it's none of my business to tell you the truth either. If you really want to get technical, there's too many of us in here arguing over who the real Pharaoh is. But enough about that. Let's talk about other people, multiple people. You know, what do I want to get out of this? Success, like the Stooges. Success.
There's nothing wrong with it.
You
Again,
know,
like I
so
said,
who wouldn't want that?
I'm not.
You know?
I've never been artistic. You know, I'm passionless. I'm not trying to
That's
make a joke here.
ridiculous. What do you mean you're
No, I
passionless?
can understand what he's talking about.
He's not
listen,
passionless,
no. I'm
though.
driven. Listen, I'm driven. I got to be honest with you. I'm driven by money.
That's
okay?
fair.
I'm
That doesn't
driven-
mean you're not
so-
passionless. I mean,
so
Vince
my-
is
so
not
my point-
passionless.
I tried to
Vince
explain.
is
I tried to
passionate.
explain to the Pharaoh. In some cases, success to me is not successful unless you made some money from
Right.
it. So you know, again,
That's
it's
fair.
you know, some people just love to do it, and I love that. I love that people want to get in front of a camera, want to speak on a microphone.
Not that bad.
For me,
Where's my money?
for me, not that bad, right? I want to put out a product that people want to sponsor,
Oh, my
put more
God.
money to, right, and make money from us, and they just keep coming back. Hence why I wanted this website so bad, right?
Right,
I want
right.
us out there.
It's lovely.
Hey, it'd be great. Someone calls us, want to do Sirius XM, you want to do this, you want to do that. That'd be fantastic. You know, is it necessarily in my line of fire? Absolutely not. My line of fire is let's get some sponsors, right? Let's build the station, let's build the product, and let's have at it. So, you know, again, I appreciate what you guys what you're trying to do. Like, Stephen, why do you do? I understand. You know, look, former policeman, writer. Why do you do a show?
'Cause it's fun. I have fun
Nothing wrong with that.
Jennifer.
That's great.
We have a great time. Now, there are people who I'm sure have noticed our show, not because of me. It's because she has a certain celebrity behind her, but I don't expect it to be big. You know, we have a certain core audience that it's fun
That's good
to
enough.
entertain them. And I like coming here and working the studio.
That's
I think
great.
it's interesting for me.
Hey, look, you know what? If I get one person that says I love your show, I kind of, you know, I take a lot of pride in that too. I'm like, hey, you know what? It's a start.
If you entertain somebody, Monty and the Pharaoh, if there's someone at home who's having a rough time or whatever, and for 1 hour you gave them a little break from life, then it's all worth it.
Yeah, I totally agree.
That
whole
sounds
idea.
that sounds hokey, but it's true, and it's more
Very
true
true.
for your show than anyone else's. I
Yeah,
think.
I wake up in the morning with those strange thoughts like, you know, I check out the WWE Network content and I go, why not us? I got the nerve to think that. Why not us? Monty and the Pharaoh on the network. Why not, Vince? Why not? It's more interesting than half the crap you got on there. Oh.
But
there
anyway,
you go.
interesting conversation. You open up some wrestling. Pharaoh, you were outside.
Dream big or don't dream at all.
Absolutely.
I want to
Oh my
open up a
God.
little off script because we had an interesting conversation. So we were talking about the independents and how people travel. It's WrestleMania's coming around, right? We're 3 weeks away.
Yep.
And that people travel to Jersey and they just try to get the whole 7-day deal and try to grab as many independent shows they got, go to WrestleMania, yada 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 yada. So, you want to talk about that, Larry?
There are it's becoming bigger and bigger every year now. I feel like last year was really the first time where it's now a separate entity where people are now traveling for the independent scene during WrestleMania, as opposed to WrestleMania itself. Friend of mine, I'll give a shout out, Brandon, buddy of mine. He went to New Orleans last year. He didn't go to Mania. He didn't go to Takeover. He went to the independent scene, and he was there literally from morning to night. There's going to be about with WrestleMania weekend.
So the
oh, yeah.
independents actually put on like a bunch of shows earlier.
Oh,
because they're just trying to take advantage of the whole situation.
They
Okay.
won't. They won't do anything on Sunday. At least I don't think anyone's performing on Sunday. At least not Sunday morning or afternoon. But Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, I think there's going to be about 33 different independent wrestling shows that will happen,
At different times.
starting from 11 a.m. to
It's just
11:55
crazy,
p.m.
bro.
You got.
It's been happening every year. It's been happening more and more.
Oh, so you knew about this too?
Yeah, but it
It
doesn't.
started small. Like Evolve would have some shows, or
They're attached at the hip to Vince
Now they
anyway.
are.
You realize
Now
that.
they are. They are
You
like a
know.
feeding program to
Yeah.
NXT.
Yeah,
But-
what are we talking? Ring of Honor? When you said last year, what companies are we talking about?
I'm going to leave a
Because
lot
to me,
out.
outside of Ring of Honor,
Ring
Pro
of Honor-
Wrestling Gorilla, there's certain ones that I do give serious, but most of them are just
No, and that's like WXW out of Japan, Germany.
Okay.
I think there's going to be an Italian federation that's coming in. I can't remember all the names,
All right.
but
I thought that's Palomo Wrestling Federation.
I think there's one from the Philippines showing up. But then you have your Evolve, you have your Shimmer,
He's a
you have
former
your
world
Shine.
champion. I don't know if you know. I can't. I'm so.
I'm trying, folks. I'm trying.
Stay on the road, Larry. Stay on the road. Go
Game
on.
changing wrestling. You know, you have, and there are 3 different packages, which now you can watch from home. Because my buddy Brandon,
You can watch
who-
Italian wrestling from
well,
home.
not Italian wrestling. Well, you probably
Hey, look who's on the screen.
put Salvatore Sincere. Because now they have through Fight TV, the Fight app.
Yeah.
They have 3 different packages where you basically order a group of shows.
I think Dreamers Company's on that. isn't
House
he?
of Hardcore is going to be doing
think
something.
so.
You know, Impact's going to be down
Yeah.
there. You know, you got your ultra violent hardcore. You got your goofiness. Every year they have the Kaiju Battle Royal.
How much of the independent scene do you really watch, though?
You know, I don't watch it, or I don't really watch it often.
Okay.
I definitely keep my eye on it, and I like to see what's happening, because if it's not for the independents, need to be supported, because they're the future for WWE, for Ring of Honor. And I always say, you can go to an independent show, you never know who you're going to see first time ever, who's going to blow up to be the next, you know, John Cena or AJ Styles, and you never know who's going to come through for their final match.
Yeah, but
And
you
everyone-
could also get stuck seeing the next sweater vest,
No, look, you're right. Sometimes,
which is usually 85% of the card.
Pretty much.
And you basically afterwards don't even want to watch wrestling ever again.
but sometimes that's some of them.
I'm just trying to be honest.
No,
Yeah,
you're
come
right.
on.
Like they have like
That's right.
they have the Joey Ryan is doing his Joey Ryan penis party is going to be like 11
Yeah,
o'clock
I
at night.
heard the tampon
And
chick
they-
threw up on Joey Ryan's
That's a
private
whole
parts.
nother story.
Wow, independent wrestling really is
Look,
for the
that's-
smart ones, right?
That,
for the
but
smart
that's just 2 people. To be fair, that's
God,
2
I
people.
can't-
But
that's
some of
true,
the other
but-
matches that you get
I mean,
on
but how do you
independent-
turn around as
Yeah.
an independent smart mark? Cremate Vince McMahon for some of the goofy crap you see on there, but yet you're going nuts for the druid penises.
You're right.
Come on.
It's weird. That's why sometimes you got to take it for what it's worth.
Yeah.
Like they had a match over in New Japan for the New Japan Cup. The winner is going to take on Jay White for the IWGP Championship, a G1 Supercard. And it was Colt Cabana versus, I always get this guy's
I don't know
name
if you
wrong.
introduced him appropriately. Jay the Pillow White.
What?
Because he's so exciting.
Really? You don't see? I
Oh,
think
yeah.
he's good in the ring. Maybe not on the mat. On the mic.
He just makes me want to hit the NyQuil so I can go to sleep faster.
Well, I hate to say it. I think
Does
he may be,
nothing for me.
I think he may be a transitional champion just for the Garden.
Oh, he better be.
In my opinion.
Because that's not going to get more American fans.
No,
He has no magnetism.
you know,
it's just me.
no. I hear what you're talking about, because I find it
Did
weird
you
that-
watch him job for 5 years over in New Japan before all of this?
New Japan? What about Ring of Honor? He was in Ring of Honor for a while.
Did you watch him jobbing in New Japan?
Well, yeah.
He was jobbing with Finley's son
And then
forever.
he came out of nowhere,
I
Switchblade
know.
Jay White.
I can't take this stuff seriously when they do that. You know?
I think over,
How
but
does
also
a guy in the minor leagues that hits 220 come up and hit 57 home runs for 5 years in a row? It just doesn't make any sense to me.
I think it's just the lay of the land, especially over in Japan. It's a whole different. Literally, it's
This
a
is
different
true.
atmosphere.
It's true.
I'm dying. Hopefully, in a couple of years, I'll be heading to Tokyo for Wrestle Kingdom. And a friend of mine was over in Japan and went to a New Japan show, and he said just being in that crowd is weird because they're quiet for most of the time, not out of disrespect.
I think what you
Out
meant
of
to say was is they're attentive.
Well, that too. Yeah, no, they definitely.
That's
pay
what you meant
attention.
to say. They're not staring at their cell
No,
phones and
no.
sending text to their friends.
You're exactly right.
They're watching the match.
Here, you're right. Here, someone said it right. I enjoy watching the show through the viewfinder of the person in front of me. So,
Yeah.
but the independent scene is there. It's big. You're gonna have your goofiness. I was telling him, Hornswoggle's got at least 2 matches
Yep.
on the independent scene. One is against Nick Gage, who's an ultra violent, the one who beat up Arquette
Yep.
and cut his neck. You know, almost hit the artery. And he's also fighting Scott Steiner.
Yeah.
So that's your
Hornswoggle
First time.
for Scott Steiner. I know you're going to run to get tickets
But you know
to
what?
that.
I was telling him it's funny. A friend of mine who has a young son who really enjoys wrestling. You know, now we've had really big stars in here, right? Billy Jack Haynes, Dr. D. David Schultz. I mean, whatever. The list is
Zabisco, Valentine, Orton Jr.
Yeah, just keep going through the list.
Val Venus, Shane Douglas.
And again, this kid was so jacked to go see Hornswoggle at the mall. Mind you, there was like no line. He went right in there, but it's like, you know, I guess has to do with ages and things like that. Maybe the kids nowadays want to see Hornswoggle against Scott Steiner. I don't
Hornswoggle
know.
got a fun pop at the Rumble because you haven't seen him in a long time as Hornswoggle out from underneath the ring. You know him and Zelina Vega.
Oh, I went wild.
So, no, but I'm just saying. When you're there, though, it's a different ball game. I'm not saying
Yes,
people.
because someone gets a pop, that means it was a good idea. I don't know.
I thought it was fun. I thought it was fun,
I guess.
but also it's not
They
a world
took a
title match.
slot.
It's not a world title
They
match.
took a slot where the winner gets to main event at WrestleMania and gave it to Hornswoggle.
No. Well, he wasn't in the Rumble. He just chased Zelina Vega.
Hasn't he been in the Rumble?
He has been in the
past?
Rumble, yes, and he helped John Cena for a little while
Okay,
too.
I
yes.
remember. I remember.
Look,
he
we
had
needed to get 30 guys in the
Oh, my
Rumble. I
God.
don't even know how many Vince had on the roster.
That's a great idea.
Look, I don't mind when they bring the older guys back. I kind of like it. It's kind of exciting. It's it gives me a little thrill. It'd be nice if one of the older guys actually won, and then we're in the main event for WrestleMania. They would never do it, but it would be pretty cool.
like what? Like what kind of
I
situation?
don't remember the year Kurt Hennig came back at like number 5.
Oh
or
my
whatever
God!
he
It's so
was.
many
Oh, yeah.
years ago.
Yeah, but I mean, back then
2002.
he was the older wrestler, and he
Right.
lasted the whole time. How cool would it have been if he would have won
mean
the
like-
Rumble and was at WrestleMania?
It would have been interesting.
like an older Greg Valentine slapping that figure 4 on Hulk
Oh,
Hogan.
God,
Yeah!
I don't know. I
No,
don't
not
know.
really,
I don't-
huh?
Look, you're going into the 70s. I
No,
know.
and then WCW when Valentine got there at the end.
How jacked would you be if, like, the Royal Rumble this year, Stone Cold came out at, like, number 15 and won the
Oh,
Rumble?
I would be
nuts.
jacked to see Stone Cold in any form.
But what I'm trying to say, you'd be out of your mind.
Yeah, because I still believe he can whoop someone's ass.
What if The Rock came out at number 2 and
Sure,
won the
why
Royal
not?
Rumble?
Why not?
I don't know.
Be
Let's
fine.
go to someone else in that era that was.
But what's wrong with the new talent? What's wrong with new talent?
I
Not
have
the
a-
new talent.
I have a huge problem with how new talent is booked anyway. So it's just.
No, go ahead.
By the way, having a huge problem here is it just me or is it that's enough already with Kofi Kingston? Either you're going to give him.
Oh, so we're going right into
This is
Kofi?
like well, no,
So-
I'm serious. It's
No,
overkill. We're talking about writing here.
Here's my problem.
You know,
I
it's like
thought
enough already.
Kofi got the main event for WrestleMania. I only knew that because I was watching, but really more importantly, wrestling was trumped by This Is Us, and I could really give a shit. It was on
Oh,
SmackDown.
this is us.
Okay, it was like
Farrell,
who
this
gave
is
a
what you
shit?
deal with every week.
So-
What's going on?
So,
This is us.
Farrell's like, Farrell and me are talking. He's like, fucking Kofi, I can't believe this guy. And I guess this is before SmackDown or whatever. This guy's going to get the fucking main event, blah, 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 blah. And all of a sudden he sends over the run sheet today, and it says, like, Kofi, Trigg, Daniel Bryan, pins him. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
He
I had
had
no
another
clue. I was
gauntlet.
ready to start going, well, Kofi Kingston in the main event.
No, he had another gauntlet. He went through 5 guys, and then Vince came out and went, I don't think so. And
But we
Daniel
have
Bryan
2
came
weeks
out.
left.
Yeah, I know.
3 weeks
You know
left.
he's going to get his match, but it's
But
like,
it's the
come
story.
on.
But it's the
You
story.
Oh,
ruined
pull
the
the
story.
trigger
You ruined
already.
the
I
story
don't
with
know.
this.
I'm gonna have.
He could have won the gauntlet. Give 2 weeks because people are actually excited for Kofi. That's what I was telling them. Let it, but we gotta wait till the last minute. See, this is why the WWE is really not sure if this is what they want to do. That's why they haven't done it yet. They're like, do we really want to main event Kofi Kingston? Or maybe we'll have a quadruple cage match and have everybody on the roster in there because we never could believe 2 people could actually have a decent match with
Look,
each other.
there's a couple matches that are coming up during the weekend. You're right, that are like multi-person matches. I'm like, why can't it be one-on-one? But be that as it may, we also talked before we went live about how you can only get so much new stories where they start rehashing the stories. This Kofi Kingston thing kind of reminds me of Daniel Bryan
Kind of.
Well, that's what he said.
at
It's
WrestleMania
lifted.
30.
Note for note.
I get that, but there's also a
Except
lot
there's
of
a
people,
difference. Daniel Bryan was worthy, and the fans were absolutely insanely batshit, and worthy of what they gave him in the end. This guy is some mid-Carter for 11 years.
I told
Stop!
I don't know about. I wouldn't call him. I think he has.
Now
the
he's a
ability.
main eventer? Did
No,
I
I
miss
think he has
something?
the-
Now
I
he's a
think
main
he's been there for a
eventer.
long
He doesn't even have a chest. Now he's a main eventer.
So,
Where's his chest?
He's not a main
And then there's
eventer.
Joe has him in the corner.
what I said to
Oh my
Farrell
God,
is-
the size difference.
this works.
Stop!
I agree with you. It works, but it only works to a point.
Right.
You have to get to the main event, and he has to lose, and that's it. You're done. You're out of the picture. It's over. No, you think at the end there's always got to be the winner, the good guy holding the belt up.
for a long time, it was.
Right.
Yeah.
This is the perfect opportunity, and they blew it already, considering what happened, which I didn't even know happened. He should have won that gauntlet match. He's set for Mania. He fucking beat the crowd's on their feet. They can't wait, and Daniel Bryan beats him, and cleanly
And
too.
if you're,
Which
curi-
was
and-
fine.
and if you're
Right.
curious as to what to put in between getting to WrestleMania and the fact that he won the gauntlet match, if there was any creativity going on back there behind the scenes, what I would have done was Kofi is now the center of attention with the New Day. Because he's going to get his shot. And the next couple of weeks before, we got 3 weeks. The next couple of weeks leading up, Kofi, they keep interviewing Kofi. They keep asking Kofi about his deal. And the New Day is just standing around feeling like leftovers. And you start building up the fact that they may not like that. And that's what you do in between. You don't sit here and milk this cow every week. It's like, stop already.
So-
The trigger has gotten
Why
annoying
didn't they
now.
pull the
Pull it already.
why didn't they pull the trigger, Larry?
I don't have that. I
They're
don't
2
know why.
weeks
I don't know why
behind
Vince
from
does
pulling the
anything that he
trigger.
does.
First of all, again, why do we keep saying it's Vince? It's not Vince.
No, but he has the final say.
He's the
know
guy
what?
that
Richard's
walked out
writing.
and changed the
Richard is
night.
writing, but
He
Vince.
walked out.
And he also killed everybody in the world. So.
No, he didn't do
Well,
that.
he also
but he
blew up in
clearly
the limo.
walked out there. And
Billy
did that.
Jack Haynes was in the studio and
So
said
let
he
me get
killed
this
the
straight.
Ultimate
No, let me get
Warrior,
this straight.
killed
though.
Macho Man.
According to
I don't know
your
what's
logic,
going on with
Dana
that.
Warrior walked up to Vince McMahon this week and said, "This is what you're gonna do, Vince, because
Maybe.
I'm the new head of writing. You're
right.
gonna go out there and you're gonna screw over Kofi." That's a great idea, Dana. Get the hell out of here, Vince. This is Vince's idea. He
No,
came
it's
out
always
and
Vince's.
watched
It
it.
wasn't
Vince's
exactly
idea.
like that, Pharaoh. It was
funny
Dana
when Vince
Warrior
comes
went
out,
up to
though.
Vince and was like,
Oh, that's true. That's true. When she comes into his office, it's like a
Vince, the
tornado.
sky is blue
on-
and red, and lightning bolts will come, and you.
Take my script or my warriors.
On a side note,
Would you please?
I think I got yelled at and blocked by one of the Ultimate Warriors' children.
What'd you do?
on
What did you
Instagram.
do?
I didn't
What'd
do
you do?
anything.
Jared?
Does your mom
No.
know that this
No,
happened?
she's gonna know now.
She's
Jared
gonna
Warrior.
be pissed.
Oh, it's not the first time I've been blocked
You've
by a celebrity.
offended the
Was
children.
it Jared Warrior?
No,
Oh,
it was
here
I
we
forget
go.
whatever her name is, India Warrior or whatever.
What's her name?
India, I think it is. I don't
India
know. I think
Warrior.
so. She just posted something on Instagram that I didn't agree
What
with.
did she post?
It was
How
something
dare you
political. I don't wanna
disagree?
get into it.
Listen, you.
It was political.
You got, listen, if you get what I'm saying,
All right,
you're
fine.
on my
So there was-
just
The
say.
bag is open. Let the cat out.
There's a just a picture of Trump and I felt like stuff thrown at him and just looked he was in a bad light. And that's
okay.
me being me, I'm not crazy about that.
All
so
right.
all I did was I don't agree with this, unfollow. Hashtag unfollow. Because I want you to know that even though I mean nothing
Right.
to her group, I'm like,
Well,
I'll
clearly
just,
you didn't mean nothing. So
No, of course I don't. Except to Alexa Bliss. So when I mean
Oh, here they go.
all of a
Here they
sudden
go.
she started yelling like, "Oh, you have a
Stalker.
problem with what I post, and you should go back to your gaming podcast." I'm like, "Sweet."
Oh,
just
she
paying
knows
attention.
she's watching
Well,
your gaming
on my
podcast.
thing.
Damn,
Nice,
the fighting
nice.
words from the Warrior.
And then I'm like, I didn't say anything hateful. I didn't. All I said was, I disagree. I'm unfollowing. And then I said, I know.
You didn't.
I can't find the feed anymore.
You didn't respond back like, look, say anything you want. Say I live in a basement. Say eat my mother's meatloaf.
Which meatloaf is
But don't
awesome.
mess with my podcast.
She's watching right now, Ma. Your meatloaf is awesome.
Mom, meatloaf.
It really is.
I
Anyway.
bet it is.
This whole thing with Kofi.
all right, go ahead.
I like it. I like where it's going. I do feel that the WWE is trying to go in this new pure reality situation because I have a perfect example how that got ruined with Ronda Rousey when she was on her video, telling the F the WWE universe. Triple H.
Fucking guy.
Triple H.
Every time that name gets you, moaning and groaning.
Triple H, talking about Richard Fleer, not Ric Flair, when he was calling out Batista.
Yeah.
Wow,
And
feel
now-
realism.
No, but it's stuff that they never did before.
Makes me laugh.
It's for the new crowd, the crowd of today, you're not used to that. So it's almost like they're trying to pull kayfabe away while trying to keep kayfabe. That's why I don't mind, because then the New Day after SmackDown was on WWE.com saying maybe it's time for us to leave. Maybe we got to get out of here because we're not getting out. Kofi's not getting his just due. And I feel they may be going a little bit over the top with the whole reality situation, but I still like that idea. And I like how Kofi keeps getting so close, so close, so close, and then nothing. And let's find out what happens at Mania. How does he get
See,
to Mania?
that itself-
I like the story.
Listen, I understand social media is the way to go now, and it makes sense that's why they do it, because everybody's on fucking Twitter or Instagram or whatever else. But it's like, can we at least let it play out on television a little bit? It's like
It's the new medium.
It's like it's
It's a
crazy,
joke.
but it's
But don't
like
you think that would have been like that back in the day if Twitter was
No.
around?
yeah,
Hogan-
it
Hogan
was-
yelling at
Sabatino's
Savage.
going to get on his keyboard and teach Superstar Graham a lesson. I'm vomiting. I am fucking vomiting. Are you kidding me? This new medium sucks hairy balls. It's terrible.
It makes-
I'm going to get you. I'm going to get you.
Listen,
How
it's
dare
out.
you? How dare you? Lame. Lame. It's lame. More face-to-face, more on TV, please.
So we were talking about also a couple of weeks ago. We were saying there's not much more to write, right? How many times can your friend turn on you? How many times can you do this? So the WWE comes up with, let's do this. You're real, everybody else is fake, and then we're gonna have a fake match at WrestleMania.
Yeah, that'll teach
Thoughts on that, guys?
you. That'll learn you.
So obviously we're talking about Ronda Rousey. When I don't know. When I lose the fact if it's a work or a shoot, that's when I'm fully into it. That's when I enjoy it the most. That video went up of her talking about, how everyone booed her out of the building at Survivor Series, which they did. And
That's fine.
when she said, my mother's watching, F the WWE Universe. And she's like, this is scripted, this is fake. They told me to say something, but I went another way. Like, I'm their biggest moneymaker. I sat there, even if it was for maybe 2 minutes. I sat there and I went, did they tell her to say that? Like, I didn't know. That's what I love.
How about the broomstick?
But wait a minute, hold on.
Oh, that's right.
See,
that was her husband. He was very engaging.
well, but wait a minute. So you don't know whether she was scripted or not.
Yeah,
but at what
but
point do you go like, this doesn't work?
This product sucks. No, but I thought because if anyone's going to do it, it would make sense for Ronda Rousey to be the one because she was in MMA. She was in MMA. She was in.
Okay, so it's like, okay, I'm real, you're fake. So guess what? Now you're a fake wrestler. Now we're gonna fight for real.
That's how she because when she came out the next night or whenever the next week on Raw when she came out and she beat up Becky Lynch, the way she beat her up, it's weird to say, but it just she looks like she was going after her. She wasn't trying to put moves on her.
You know what?
She was
No, she
punching her.
She
because of what Becky said about her husband.
Well, no, I don't even think it's that. The night before, I think you're talking when he came off the pay-per-view. She hit her pretty fucking hard.
That's what it was.
That was a
That's what it was.
retaliation.
That's what it
There's
was.
nothing
Yes.
wrong. Give her get a little stiff.
That's
I'm okay
fine. A
with
receipt
that,
is
right?
fine. But and as the weeks went on, I'm like, all right, clearly this is part of the gimmick. But Ronda she's the one that can say, now they're not going to fire me. I'm their biggest moneymaker.
Okay.
Which technically she's still a big name, whether you like her or not.
She's the biggest
She's still
name.
a big name. That's
She's the
there.
biggest name they got.
And I thought it was amazing for her to say that because then because she doesn't wrestle. She judo, like her judo is in there, which I love. She can flip someone all the time. She's, you got to have the skill to be able to do that to make people look good.
Explain to me why do you like this writing on this particular match? I think they've taken a lot from this match with this poor writing. And I want to hear.
I think it's going good. I think it's going good also because Ronda's a much better heel now than she was as a face.
Okay, so be a heel, saying I'm going to fight you, and
here's
not
the other
go.
thing.
You're all fake. I'm real. And what if Brock Lesnar said that too? I'm real. You're all fake.
Well, he's got
I'm going
Paul
to beat
Heyman
you
say
up.
it. And Paul Heyman has gone on and said it. What do you think? This is a script? You think this is scripted? You think this is pre-written? Obviously, he was saying it in jest, as we all know what it is. We're all here for the same reason. We all love professional wrestling, and since day one, since Gorgeous George days, all these matches were predetermined. But not only is it the match in the ring, nowadays it's the story. And this is that you have to go. Not you guys personally, but in general. You have to go into it and suspend disbelief.
But you can't when someone says, I'm real, you're fake. That's going past it. Like, you could blur the lines a little bit to keep you engaged. You get it. You got to suspend, right? But when you tell, you're fake, I'm real, what's there to suspend? I don't know. You're fake, I'm real. So if you're real and she's fake and she beats you, then she was real and you were real?
Well,
I don't even
that
understand
depends
what's
how the
going
outcome
on.
would have been. If Ronda wins at WrestleMania, and they kept that whole thing, and she won in like 20 seconds, like she used to in the UFC, well, A, everyone would ask for a refund, but B, it would be reality. Because she was beating people up shorter than you could put them on Instagram back in the day. Ronda, she has that capability to say real, because she's been in the realness. What has to happen now is for Becky and Charlotte to now kind of enter that world. But we're going to get a match. We all know, bottom line, it's going to be a wrestling match. And that's what we're leading up to. And that's why there's going to be 70,000+ people at MetLife, because they want to see the story. And that's what it's all about. Even in that weird world of professional wrestling,
All right,
the fact they can hold themselves out.
Larry, take a breath. Farrell.
Fair enough.
There's going to be 70,000 people at MetLife Stadium because it's WrestleMania.
Okay.
It's not going to be because of Ronda Rousey.
It's their Super Bowl,
It's not
right?
going.
Correct.
Thank you. It's not going. Oh, excuse me, Ronda Rousey. Thank you. It's not
You
going
always
to be. It's not going to be about the woman who wears a shirt and calls herself a man. It's not going to be about Charlotte Flair. It's not going to be about any of them. It's going to be about the spectacle of it. It's an event. People go and have fun. Like you say, they drink beer, they eat food, they go and hang in the parking lot, they watch the fireworks, the spectacles, the matches. It's an event. That's why they're going. Storylines nowadays suck balls.
Wait, so let me just
This
jump in
is
there.
another-
you
another
made some real
situation.
good clarity there. There was
Yeah.
a time that you went to the WrestleMania.
For
you went-
Warrior
you-
versus Hogan.
Right, you wanted to see
for
the match.
Andre versus
Yeah,
Hogan.
yeah.
For Stone Cold
Yes.
versus The Rock.
Yeah.
3 times.
Yep.
You went for them.
Yep.
Now you go for the event. You don't go for these guys anymore because we have 2 problems. Storylines are puked out, pissed out, and not even thought about in depth like they used to be, where you had a year build up like a Macho Man Elizabeth and a Hogan. God bless you.
So it doesn't matter what they. You said it doesn't matter what they're putting on. People.
And
going.
you have watered down all the titles where none of them mean anything, where someone now can chase after it because he's held every belt and it never meant a damn thing when he held every belt
you're
to
go-
get to the fucking
so
big
you-
belt.
I agree with
This
you.
is a joke!
You're
I
gonna
agree
spend.
Magnificent Morocco, when he held that Intercontinental title, my brother, we knew he was the second best wrestler and most taken seriously in the company behind Hulk Hogan. He was the guy, or Bob Backlund, whoever was number 1, whoever held the Intercontinental was
Well,
number 2.
the one good thing
now,
about
anyone can hold it.
the one good thing about having Larry here is Larry's a more New Age fan than we are. Right?
No, actually, I think Larry is more of an optimist than we are.
Sure, fair enough.
Even like, I'm fairly optimistic most of the
am.
Fair
time.
enough.
I try to. Yeah, thank you. I'm not gonna have to trademark that. Fair
I
enough.
like that.
Fair
Yeah.
enough. So then
I
you
agree with you.
stabbed him, smacked him around, and told him to get out of your ring. Yeah, that's what I did. Fair enough.
So to me, it's like, okay, you're gonna spend $10,000 at ringside for garbage.
event.
For what? It's like, I don't know. I'm thinking to myself, if I had the money back in the day, I would have went to see, sat ringside to see Ultimate Warrior against, Hulk Hogan. I would have. And back then they didn't give you all this collectible shit that you
Yeah,
can take
yeah.
home and all that shit. But it's like, to be there, I don't see, hey, I sat ringside for was it 35 now?
Yep.
I sat ringside for WrestleMania 35. And what was the match? 80 triple threat matches.
I can't take that either.
I don't know, man.
I know you like them. I can't take them.
I do. Well, like I,
liked
said,
it one-on-one.
Depending on how it is, like there's a match the Ring of Honor is doing that's a triple threat that I thought should have been one-on-one. But remember WrestleMania. There's been WrestleManias where there have been no single matches. WrestleMania 2000 had not one single match. That was one-on-one. It was all tag or multi-man matches.
Shit, I didn't know that. Did you know that?
Yeah, but you know what? When you had the kind of writing that you had back then, and you had the kind of characters you had back then, you could almost do anything with them.
But
They were that
think
great.
in-
That whole roster was so great, and they were written
But
correctly.
there's really,
You know.
I know I'm gonna get.
It also comes down to everybody's got to get their payday for WrestleMania.
Well, that
Hey, Alexa, we got nothing for you, so guess what? We'll make you
She's the host.
The host.
Right.
And
Elias
what's
is
what's
the-
it?
Elias is the
He's the
musical
musical act.
Right.
God forbid we have a real musical act. We got to listen to fucking Elias.
Yeah.
Hey, you sold out that bar down in New Orleans last year.
That's great.
Fans loved it, so they
Congratulations.
made sure to
It's
never
fun.
put a strap
That's what
on
it
him.
is.
That's
It's
great
fun.
writing.
Strap
I don't
on,
know,
he's barely
dude.
wrestled.
I
That's what I'm
got-
saying.
They loved him, and they didn't do anything with him. They just let him keep coming out and doing this.
I'm going to agree. I do agree with you guys as far as Farrah. I agree with you about the belts. Yes, they do.
It's a
There's a
joke.
lot of belts. In fact, let's face facts. The only real true champion right now is Pete Dunne because he's held the title for 2.5 years.
Think
and
about-
he does defend it on the Indies.
Think about the
Who?
singles.
Pete Dunne, one of the biggest names in Europe.
I love
And
Pete
he's going to
Dunne.
have probably
I
one of the
love
best
Pete.
matches of the weekend.
Hi, Pete.
Fucking Pete Dunne.
Hi, Mike.
No wonder he's no wonder he's wrestling on the beds. I don't know who the fucking
I'm
guy is.
telling
He's the NXT UK champion, Pete
And-
Dunne. He's
and
held the
he's-
belt for almost 2 years now.
Over 700 days, I believe.
Yeah, that's a pretty impressive belt. The
I-
NXT.
Well,
Well,
UK. The
like-
UK title.
That-
I
The
know. There it
Alaskan
goes.
coal mine.
The UK scene is amazing.
He compares
Please help
England
me.
to an Alaskan
The two-
coal mine.
the two
What is
are-
wrong with you? You go, Kalari, you got to help me out here with this.
I'm
The
talking-
terrible.
Scandinavian 205 Live.
Weighing
title.
in
The
at
Scranton,
204
Pennsylvania lightweight
from the Alaskan
women's division X Files
Oh my
champion.
God. I'm the champion of
As long as
Rhode
the title's
Island.
being
How
defended.
dare you?
As long as it's being defended, I'll buy a replica.
I love Pete Dunne. I think he's great.
How many replica belts do you have, man?
What?
14, maybe
Holy
15 of them.
That in
Dude,
itself is probably
And about-
$4,000,
What do
right?
you do? Wear
They
them to the
are-
shower?
They're about $400
This is very
each.
strange.
Problem is, they're hanging on the wall in my bedroom, which explains a lot of problems as well. But
The
no,
ceiling's
they
falling.
well, yeah. I mean, they.
So
they
I'm
go
always,
for a
I'm
pretty
always
pop.
watching. So when you do your radio show,
Yeah.
you're on your computer. Behind you is a autographed picture. I tried to focus on that. See if I'm right,
Okay.
and then correct me.
Okay.
Is it Bret Hart putting Stone Cold in the sharpshooter?
Bret Hart. I don't think it's Stone Cold, but it's definitely Bret Hart putting someone in the sharpshooter. Signed by Bret Hart, who I despise.
Wow.
I do not like Bret Hart at all. And it's funny because my cousins got me for my birthday, and I'm like, I love it because my family gave it to me, but it's Bret Hart. I'm like,
Why do you despise him?
I thought after
Well,
the
the
whole
reason
thing,
I noticed it too, when I was watching, you were talking, you couldn't hear. Your mother came down, she was cleaning. She goes, "This fucking guy doesn't even clean his basement." But that's a whole nother
What are you telling me?
point.
She was shining the belts? What the hell?
She was like cleaning.
I do remember.
And he's
that.
like, he's talking about wrestling,
left that on
and
the
there's
air?
mom.
I forget what happens
You didn't know she
sometimes.
was in the background? Oh my God!
She's cleaning. She's like, "This son of a."
Larry, finish your iced tea. What the hell? Cut. Oh my God! Cut.
The stuff my poor mother had to
Larry,
put up
cut
with
your
me.
lawn.
Good Lord.
Cut the.
Mom, I'm doing my show. Stop it.
I have fans, Bob. Get upstairs. Oh, check it out. My Katie Kidd is here.
I don't need this.
my new Drew McIntyre bobblehead. I can't anymore.
No, on a serious note,
Oh, yeah, right. On a
14
serious note,
replica
sure.
belts
Maybe.
at about 400
What
apiece.
kind
Right?
of replica belts after the first couple?
Dude, they're
What do you-
expensive, man.
What do you mean 14?
I
What are
probably
you
have
talking about?
So you have
Hold
every
on,
individual
six?
belt.
Hold
You have
on.
multiple
No.
belts.
Give me the most ridiculous title you have so I can freaking laugh.
The
What do we-
TNA World Heavyweight Championship.
Why would you
Nice.
have
Have
that?
the Ring of Honor World
What do you- what
Championship
do you
before
rather-
the current design, the other
Nice.
design,
Very
and
cool.
I got a few of them autographed.
You get the rated R belt.
No, I
You
don't have the
the
spinner.
smoking skull.
No.
See that? You know,
Here's my.
he's
No,
got
hold
14
on.
belts. He doesn't
Let
have the
me
coolest belt ever
explain.
made.
For God's sakes. Let
You
me
tell your mom you want it.
She knows. Trust me. She knows.
She knows.
That I want these belts.
Your mom, you want your mom.
She knows.
She's a fool.
That's the worst part. She knows.
I can't get the smoking belt now because they use the new logo on
trying
it.
to put
And
it
that's
in
what
What do you
I
mean? Oh, they put the WWE.
The E logo,
Oh,
not the
that
F logo.
sucks.
They what?
They put the WWE logo on
What the
it
hell?
now.
What's
Do you have
that?
the-
I don't.
Do
That's
you have
all
the
I
original
want.
Intercontinental title?
I have.
Wait a minute. They have belt
Well, I
makers
have
on
the-
the internet. Just have one made with the F.
Yeah,
No,
true.
you need the authentic.
I need
Wait
that-
a minute. That's very expensive. Maybe mom's not willing to splice for that one.
She don't buy them. I bought all of them.
She bought every
Well,
one.
she bought two of them.
Come on.
That's nice. That's a nice.
The
gift.
unified
very
title.
nice.
Actually went to
That's awesome.
WrestleMania.
Yeah.
WrestleMania 17. I went to because WrestleMania was around my birthday.
That was your-
the end of March.
Good one.
So we went. Me and my friends went to back then WWE New York. So now it's a Hard Rock in the City, and that was when Jericho was unified champion. So I had both belts with me.
What a
Nice.
time.
I got dressed up. I cosplayed as Chris Jericho, best of all time in my opinion.
You
Well, I was a little thinner.
were Chris
A little
Jericho.
thinner, a little thinner. And there I am on like what? 40,
Right.
what was that? 42nd Street or something? With these two belts, waiting outside for about 10 hours to get into the building, and you got everybody like, "Hey, can I take a picture?" I'm like, "No, go away. No one's touching these belts."
What? They thought you were Jericho?
Well, some people were probably a bit inebriated and didn't know what was. Some lady came up saying she was Maven's mother.
Who? What?
Yeah, exactly. She's like, "My son's wrestling tonight." I'm like, "Who's your son?" Maven. We're like, "You can keep moving, lady."
Yeah, I would have walked away too. Oh, maybe.
So, but it's my collection.
That's cool.
Yeah, no.
What's your most proud collection?
honestly of the belts?
No, anything.
Oh.
Any wrestling thing. Forget about any other sports
Okay.
or anything like that.
Actually, my
Because I know you're a huge hockey fan. So.
last 2 years. Actually, my prized possession is my signed winged Eagle WWE Championship belt by Hulk Hogan.
Wow.
Winged Eagle.
The one that he held
Yeah.
between WrestleMania 4 and 14.
Oh,
Yeah.
really? Nice.
I got that, and I met him at Steiner Sports over at Roosevelt Field. That was the
Hogan.
first time I met
How
him.
much was Hogan charging for a signing?
Back then, it was probably about 100
Oh, shit,
20
that's not
bucks?
bad.
What a steal.
about 120.
That's not,
What is he
dude, that's
charged
not
now?
bad.
No,
dude.
I know.
That's
Nah, I
really
mean,
not
This
bad.
was a while
now,
ago.
forget
And I
it.
remember meeting him, and it was the first time, and I'm literally
You shaking.
shaking.
Wow.
And all joking aside, my parents were with me, and my dad took a picture with me and Hogan, and when we got the film developed, he was a little nervous as well, so he zoomed in too far. So we got Hulk Hogan, and then like my wrist, my elbow, and my shoulder.
That's so long.
That was good.
That is. Oh my god.
It's all good.
Whoa.
All good.
Oh my god. That is. I can't wait to see my picture with Hulk Hogan. That's
terrible.
No, it's all right.
I
I'm a
can't
little nervous.
believe it.
That's all, Ma!
I got to meet him a few years later at New York Comic Con. So
You did?
Hogan, yeah,
How much did it cost there?
that was probably a little more, maybe about 100.
Who took the picture?
The professional, like a professional photo.
Because I remember, wasn't Undertaker charged like $500?
Undertaker, I paid
What, dead or alive?
Alive, unfortunately.
Wow.
when I bought the VIP package when Undertaker was at Nassau Coliseum. It was
Yeah.
like $375.
Yeah, that's a lot of scratch.
That's a
man.
photo and an
And
autograph.
how long did you wait online for that?
That is a whole story unto itself because that we waited outside for about 3 hours after the doors opened because the
You would have gone
convention,
nuts.
the convention
you would've
center,
gone nuts.
I wouldn't have gone.
the convention center. screwed
I
it
wouldn't
up.
even be there. I mean,
It
I'll just
was-
wait for Larry's post. I don't have to go anywhere. I just wait for Larry's
We were
post.
talking about the cards coming up. This,
Oh, look, Saudi Arabia. Hello, this is Larry. I'm on a flying rug. I'm here in Saudi Arabia. I'm like, yeah, of course you are.
So
How the
3
matches go?
3 hours. 3 hours.
Good lord.
Lord's got nothing to do with this. Go continue.
So,
leave
but
the
no,
Lord
but,
out of this.
but that was just run poorly, that show. But I
Was
guess
he at least nice to you?
He was cool, but when you're in those situations, like I go to Comic-Con a lot, so you get used to, you kind of get rushed through it. Like, hey, how you doing? Nice to meet you. Gone.
cattle.
Hey,
Yeah.
yeah,
No
honestly, but
thanks.
he was cool because I got autographed when my buddy worked for WWE on the writing team. Don't fault him for that. He was at WrestleMania. He worked there during WrestleMania 31, and he got me, because I was just going to throw him away, the locker room signs that was specifically made for Hogan, not Hogan, Sting, Undertaker, Gorilla Position, and
Wow.
Mark, and Hall of
Nice.
Fame class. So these are one of a kind.
That's very cool.
they
So
are.
I took the Undertaker one and got him to sign it.
That's
So,
great,
Yeah,
man.
yeah, that was cool.
That's cool.
That was cool.
So you have enough room in the basement to hang all this shit or what?
No, that's why I'm moving.
What, to a bigger basement?
They're too big. No, I'm moving up for the first time in about 15 years. I'm gonna be
Doink.
living above ground. In all
Oh, you're
honesty.
going above
Larry,
ground.
we just jest.
I know.
Let's
Are
get
you,
back
you
to...
know how many years I lived in a basement? I can relate to living underground. It sucks.
let's take this call.
Hey, what's that? Yeah, I agree with
You've
Steve.
reached Monty and the Pharaoh. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Please turn down your radio.
Hello?
Hello.
Goodbye.
Alrighty then.
Hello?
Yeah, he hung up.
Whatever.
All right.
What are you
Man,
gonna do?
these goddamn prank calls.
Any thoughts, guys, on Kurt Angle comes out and he announces he's going to have his final match, and we probably saw that was coming one way or the other. It's going to be at WrestleMania, and he picks Baron Corbin.
I'm gonna agree with you on this one. This is a rough one. I haven't
I haven't said anything yet, but you can. I guess you
I
can
can
tell.
read it in your eyes that I can't see.
Yeah, there you go.
Storyline wise, it makes sense, but obviously, Baron Corbin is not the way to end your career at WrestleMania. Again, I have faith that it's going to be a big giant swerve. Something happens at Mania, and you hear the dong, and then Undertaker comes out. But yeah, it's Corbin's a weird pick.
You don't think Cena might be the guy to come out?
I mean, maybe Cena as well. It's just I haven't heard anything about Undertaker, so maybe. But then, people complain about how Kurt Angle just looks broken down anyway. So, do you want a couple broken down guys in the middle of the ring wrestling at Mania?
You think Kurt Angle can't give us one more great match
I
if
think
his
he
opponent
can.
was?
I'm saying people have said. So,
Did you want Chad Gable to turn on him because I did really badly? I thought that Chad Gable would actually make a wonderful opponent for Kurt Angle. Maybe not necessarily his final match or a WrestleMania, but when he was like, I really respect you, thank you.
I was waiting for
I was
something.
like, please attack him.
I was waiting for something.
Because Chad Gable looks like he may have a personality if they let him show if he has
Chad
one.
Gable's got
But how's he? How are we ever going to know? They've written him so badly.
Put him in tag team.
If you actually
That was a good match,
if
by
you
the
actually
way.
can see him, he's like 5'3".
Yeah.
yeah, he is.
All right, give it one more shot. Monty the Pharaoh, say your name, turn down your radio.
Alexa Bliss.
Oh, hey, Alexa, how are you, hon?
Good.
What is this?
That's Alexa Bliss. Who do you think it is?
We've got Larry Mormon, that stalker, in the studio.
Stalker.
He claims he's a huge fan.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, Larry, you need to stop stalking me. No, I'll not come over your house to mommy's meatloaf. I love Mike and only Mike, okay?
Oh my
I already got the paperwork from you. I don't think you need to tell me about it as
Oh
well.
my God.
Well, Alexa, I really appreciate it. See, Larry, to break everything that you keep trying to say, she's actually calling you to tell you to leave her alone.
I'm glad you were able to call in the second time because the first time apparently didn't work.
And she hung up again.
She did?
Yeah, she
Wow.
hung up again. It
How
wasn't
did you
me.
get Alexa Bliss?
I have
to
no
call in?
idea.
You see
How
that?
did you get
You know,
Alexa
it's-
Bliss?
You see that? And she
Maybe-
doesn't like your mom's meatloaf.
That is that's
Well, when,
her.
when you
I ain't
had her
saying
locked
nothing
up in the
about that.
closet for 3 weeks.
3 weeks
you
is a
really?
little
All she did was eat
excessive.
meatloaf. They saw how heavy she was when she got on Raw.
You didn't make
like,
one
like,
Facebook
what?
of her in the closet. Boy, you share everything except the
She
things
put on like
we
50
we
pounds.
really
Like,
want to
they
see.
They wouldn't put her on the
She
show.
put on 50
They had
pounds.
to put her on a strict diet.
Alexa Swiss?
Yeah, that's
Cheese?
exactly.
A lot
But
of
anyway,
it?
to clear the air,
What the hell?
there's Miller. Obviously, Alexa calls in, tells him leave alone.
Well,
I
he has
leave
call,
alone to
it
Monty.
does say Alexa Bliss. He's got caller
It
ID
did say
right there.
Alexa Bliss.
So
It actually said Mrs.
Very-
Miller.
oh, there we go. More delusion
Now,
on
she
the other
need to call
side. I
back and
can't.
put you on the straight and narrow.
Why? I can't
Why?
say anything. Apparently, even if I say no, I get in trouble.
That's true.
What?
That's true.
Wow.
Your life will be threatened. All right, let's talk a little wrestling.
All right, talk a little wrestling. Go ahead, drive the
No, you were
bus.
doing good. But I was going to say about
I
Chad.
was?
Chad Gable.
Yeah.
The guy's 5'2".
I knew
That's
this was
annoying.
gonna happen.
With his stupid hair and a
He's a
friggin' thing.
great wrestler.
What's wrong with
Yeah,
the
in
little
the
guys? Not even little.
They
Regular
suck.
size.
He's an,
No, no,
he was an
so wait.
Olympic wrestler.
You just had the Pharaoh saying
What?
Kofi Kingston has no chest, and it's
doesn't. Chad
unbelievable
Gable
that
has
he
a
could
chest.
have beat anybody in that
He is a bit
gauntlet.
defined.
He's
Jack
got
Gable,
a
yes.
chest, Chad Gable. He's much younger, too.
Yes. And an Olympic wrestler.
Well, okay. Give him a chance.
He's
They don't give.
He's
What's
handsome.
going on over here?
No, but seriously,
He's
dude.
a handsome
Flowing
devil.
locks. Flowing locks.
The bandana just makes the whole thing. Go on.
My whole point
Let's
is
talk wrestling.
he's terrible.
He's
That's all I'm
terrible.
saying.
Is that what
He's
you
terrible.
How is he
Say.
terrible?
He's terrible.
Well, he's never been given a chance to do anything
No,
anyway.
he keeps throwing these
You know,
things.
you
Don't
can't
sound
go
it.
against Kofi and stick around Chad Gable.
Who would you really rather see? Brock Lesnar versus Seth Rollins or Brock Lesnar versus Drew McIntyre?
Ooh.
That's a good question.
Because part of me actually wants to see
Drew
Drew
Me
McIntyre
too.
and Brock
But don't
Lesnar.
worry, you got 2 more weeks to make it a triple threat because you know.
I'm in.
No, they're not.
I'm in.
Because he's wrestling Roman.
There you
No, Drew's wrestling Roman.
Wait a minute. I'm sorry. I forgot how they're going to work this. It's going to be a 4-way, and Roman's going to get his
no.
title back.
Roman's
and then
gonna-
Rollins will be mad.
Roman's going to get in. No,
Of course.
Roman's
You heard
wrestling
it here,
Drew.
folks. Thank you.
No. What happens if Roman fights Drew one-on-one? Anybody care if they
I'm
fight
in
one-on-one?
on that. I like Drew McIntyre.
But
So,
who's going to win the match?
who's going to win that one? It's got to be Roman.
Why?
I feel like
What's the point of
Wait,
pushing
wait,
Drew?
wait,
He's
you
just
come
gonna
back.
go back
Is there
down.
any matches announced except for the 2 main events right now?
for Mania?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We got
There's
a
a
bunch
whole
of now.
bunch.
What do you got?
All right,
bunch.
here we go. So the card for
Oh,
WrestleMania.
God, time to get
Well,
nauseous.
All right, I'm
the
ready.
card.
Hit
I got
it,
the
Larry.
card.
Hey,
So-
Larry! I didn't get one in today. Go ahead.
I like it.
Go ahead.
So, of course, the Universal Championship, Brock Lesnar versus Seth Rollins. The Raw Women's title, Ronda Rousey, Becky Lynch, Charlotte Flair. In a no-holds-barred match, it will be Triple H and Batista. Finally.
That one I like.
Triple
that
H
one I
has
like.
never beaten
Can we slow
Batista.
down for a second? Are we going to say anything about these matches?
Oh, no, I just figured those
As he
top two
rips
were
through
really
them. Why don't we just start at the top? Lesnar, Rollins.
Oh, you want-
Thought-
okay, all right.
You know, thoughts, Mike, on that one. Are you
I-
excited about that? I don't think it's bad. I don't think it's bad. Should be good.
I actually think that match will get changed into a 4-way. I'm not
Why
joking.
would we
I think
do
they're going to do
that?
that.
I don't
please
think
don't
so,
do that.
because Brock works better with the small guys. It's
I think
been
it'll be a
proven.
good match. I think it will be.
And also, since he's
You
won,
rooting for Brock?
Yeah.
Yeah, I am
I think
too.
Rollins will go over on that one.
I think,
Really
I
think
think,
so?
I
it's,
think no, in all honesty, I think so.
I think it's time. Probably.
possible.
I don't know.
You know,
Who
we had
cares?
great matches.
Not
with
ready to
Punk,
start
Styles.
guessing
You
that.
know, my
Yeah.
whole point is, it's like Brock Lesnar comes to town, to the Garden or the Coliseum, and he's wrestling. Well, I won't go to any more wrestling matches, but I might go to see him. Your
You said
champion
something-
Seth
you
Rollins.
said something-
I could give a shit. That's your main event guy. That's your guy holding the championship.
You said something interesting earlier. You said Ronda Rousey is their biggest draw. Excuse
one
me.
up.
You know, we gotta have like.
What
a
was her
thing
name?
every time it's like,
Ronda
No,
Rousey?
wait a second. Ronda Rousey. Ronda Rousey, you said was like their meal ticket, their
Yeah.
number one ticket. You really think Ronda Rousey puts more fannies in the seat than Brock Lesnar?
I went to Evolution.
Than Brock Lesnar?
I went to. Oh,
I don't think so.
close.
And by the way, Evolution, and that's another thing that's ticking me off about this whole check out the great women's division. You had one pay-per-view, it failed. You haven't even had
Well,
another
I don't
one.
know
You
if it
failed?
failed.
Hey, listen, if this was as great as they were shoving down our throat, there would have been one in November, December, January, February.
then-
What? There's been none.
But then they'd have that.
You don't even have one since then.
Did you enjoy it?
How
You
is
were there.
this a
I honestly,
massive?
I liked it.
Please tell me though how this is a massive success if you haven't even had one since.
Excuse me. It was success because I
You know
thought
why?
The
Because
matches
the
were
divisions
good.
are written like shit. They write the division like shit. They can't sell a women's full card because the writing's not good enough, and neither is the whole division.
Look, there were some
to sustain it.
problems in some of the matches. I'm not going to disagree with you, but you know, you kind of say, you know, you go to the shows for key matches. I was there for, first of all, the last woman standing match between Becky and Charlotte. That match was the best match of the night and one of the best matches of the year.
I agree.
Yes. Nikki and Ronda. I knew Ronda
I'm
was
sorry.
gonna be
That
but-
Nikki Ronda
was
match,
good.
I was leaving,
That was
and
good.
then I was watching it from up top because
Yep.
I had my
That was
Phil down on
much
the
better
floor.
than
I
I
was
thought
really
it would
annoyed.
be.
That was an incredible match.
And it was because I'm not used to Nikki having good matches.
Yeah, you were shocked.
I was very shocked. I was fine with Ronda.
Yeah.
But Nikki,
But here's the deal with the women's division currently.
need their own show.
If you take away, God, no, they don't, and I'll tell you why. Because they haven't learned how to write for them. If you take away those big three that are fighting in that main event, who's the next best star? Let's face it, it's our girl, it's Alexa. What's she doing for WrestleMania? Nothing. Okay. What? One-on-one individuals, not tag teams.
Yeah.
You take away those three girls. Who is having an awesome run where they could even have a one-on-one match? Not a single one.
They're all
Not
down.
a single one.
down
In
to
other
next thing.
words, this whole roster of women have 3 stars on it
on the main roster, yes.
that can main event.
They need
That
to bring
is
more
not something that you go, I'm going to throw this on every
Oh,
week
wait
and
a
we're going to
minute,
do a
hold on.
pay-per-view.
Give me 3 guys that can main event in the WWE, men.
On the card right now,
Brock
that
Lesnar,
have
Seth
done it in the
Rollins.
past.
Wait, you see,
Start.
let's
Go
be,
ahead.
Let's wait.
Go ahead.
Let's
Reel
be
them off,
fair.
because there's a whole bunch.
Let's be
Go
fair.
ahead.
You're a huge wrestling fan. Huge. You love the sport. Period.
I do.
Like, blah. I'm gonna call this on you.
Yeah.
Seth Rollins, you gonna go to Coliseum and see him?
Seth Rollins is a main event, whether
I'm
I'm
not-
going to go or not.
But that's what I'm trying to say. You would not
But
go.
he's a main event, is what I'm saying. I'm talking about how they've been written. He's main event. Whether I'm going to go or not, he's main event. You
Seth
gonna tell me
Rollins-
Sasha Banks is main event? Go ahead.
No,
tell me
I'm
she's
not.
main event.
I'm
Go
not
ahead.
saying
And
that.
that's what's partially wrong, because you know what?
Seth
You know
Rollins is not
Sasha
main
Banks
event.
should be main event.
She should be.
And
She
you
would
know
be
that
main
she's
event.
been written like shit.
She would be main event against Ronda, but
You
we
know?
got more matches.
Steve
Go
knows
ahead.
that blood is
Let's
main
hear the
event, right?
matches.
Steve?
Let's hear the
I
matches.
think we've
Yes.
talked definitely about the Raw Women's Triple Threat. We've
Go
talked
ahead.
about that. We know
That's
about
it,
that.
right.
Yeah.
Let's go to the no holds barred match: Triple H and Batista.
Yeah,
Great
he's
match.
psyched about that.
I'm very happy. Batista,
Should be good.
Triple H has never beaten Batista one-on-one.
Right.
So this is going to be, hey, I think we'll know where it's going to go, but I think it's going to be a good match because it's fresh. And sometimes I don't like when guys come back as a part-timer. But I think this one's going to work.
Hell, I think that match is a main event match. You could main event at the
I'd go
Garden
see that
Triple
match.
H versus Batista. You know what I'm saying?
I'd go see that match.
Neither of them are even in the
I
ring
think
much nowadays.
Triple H can work better than most 90% of the roster.
Yeah, I agree with
He's
that.
one of the greatest of all time, and
Yep.
I'll give you what, Dave Batista could work.
Yeah.
And regardless if he
Yep.
could work as well as Triple H, probably not. But I can tell you what, Dave Batista would outshine any of the guys
Dave
that got on the
Batista's the
roster
man.
right now. Anyway,
Oh, he's great.
You know, I hate to say it. They keep bringing the old guys back.
They
You
have
know
to.
why? Because these
they
new guys
have to.
suck. And you want to blame it on the writing? Yeah, we can because they haven't
Some
built
of it
any
we can.
stars.
Not all of it. Some
But
of it.
you know what? I got to tell you, and it's probably because we're older and we're not into it as much, right?
I get it.
You're not. Look, you're not a fan of the wrestler. You may be a fan of the sport.
I see just as sharp what a 20-year-old sees when he's watching in a wrestling event. Sorry.
Oh, you-
I'm not bowing to anyone younger than me
oh, you-
or
oh,
older.
it's not-
I know what I'm seeing.
It's not what you.
I've been watching
my
for
whole
50
point
years
is,
almost.
Did you hear the man just say when he went and saw Hulk Hogan?
That's
him and
Becky
his
Lynch
father.
is the man. That's Larry Moore, man.
Him and his father were shaking.
Right. For
Okay?
Hogan. Yeah.
Okay. That's a
Humana,
big
humana,
difference.
humana, humana.
I'll
Hulk
tell you
Hogan.
what. If I was 20 years old, I don't think I'd be shaking for Seth Rollins.
No, because he didn't grow up
Seth
with Rollins.
Rollins is not doesn't make it do
Today's-
that. Hogan would.
I was-
Savage.
I was-
Piper.
Larger
than life.
I was
Rollins
single digits
isn't
when
larger
Hogan
than
was
life.
champion.
Right.
So I grew up with Hogan. Kids nowadays
I
growing
bet
up with
you-
Rollins, growing up with
I
Roman,
bet you Brock
they will act
Lesnar
like
make
that.
you shake when you're a little kid.
That's
You're
all
meeting
over
Brock
the ballgame,
Lesnar.
yeah.
I'm
He just
serious. I
scares
think
me.
he's big enough character that you'd be like, whoa, it's Brock Lesnar. Or The Undertaker.
Good. What else
You know,
we
well, then
got?
again,
Let's talk about this. Former SmackDown Tag Champions going at it. The Miz versus Shane McMahon. Hey, Shane McMahon beat him up good at Fastlane, not for nothing.
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
I hated that promo.
What, the Miz good guy
hated
promo?
it.
That was the best
Miz is weird as
good
a
guy
good guy.
promo he's ever done.
I mean, it's good, but I
For a
still
good
find him
guy,
as a good
you know?
yeah.
I just didn't like it.
No, it's who cares?
In one of the matches on the undercard, I think it's going to be really good. AJ Styles versus Randy Orton.
I'm looking forward
That
to
might
that.
be a good match.
I'm
Randy
actually
Orton has
looking
turned it
forward
up a
to
little
that.
bit lately, and I got to
Yeah.
tell you, I never really realized how big Randy Orton
Randy's
is,
huge.
man.
Randy's
Holy
big
shit!
man.
Who was he up with? He was next to AJ. He made the AJ. See,
Well, AJ short.
no, but you see, this is the funny thing.
Randy's
When
just a
people
big
talk
guy.
about like why wasn't AJ in the WWE,
Mm-hmm.
there's the point right there. When you were looking at those two, you were like, it's not even. I thought AJ was a pretty decent sized guy. He was dwarfed by Randy.
Randy's a big
he
boy.
looked like a little boy, and I'm like, this is why these guys were never on the main roster before, and they were never brought to the
How do you explain
WWE.
Joe? Oh, Joe didn't look pretty to have the pretty
Well,
muscles.
you know. But
Joe's huge.
a little different, right? But my whole point is that's when I realized now I know why like an AJ Styles wouldn't have been in the Attitude Era because you can't have a 5'7", 5'8" guy at 190 pounds against a monster.
Yeah,
like
but you're
Randy
talking
Orton.
about the company had no problem putting the belt on Eddie or Chris. So why is AJ?
You know what? I got to tell you what.
Why is AJ
I
not?
I don't
I
recognize
thought
that
Ed-
second name.
Yeah, neither do I.
What?
I didn't recognize that second name that you said.
Oh, okay. I
But
got you.
Eddie was not he was a pretty buff guy. It wasn't
He wasn't
buff.
he
He was built.
I mean, if anyone was Sean was considered a small guy.
Right. There's another guy. He's AJ size. You know.
Speaking of which, the United States title is on the line as Samoa Joe takes on Rey Mysterio.
Hate it.
See, I think this is good because they're keeping this a one-on-one match.
Well,
See,
it's
the US
one-on-one,
title, I
but-
would expect to be in a fatal four-way.
Can I ask you what's the deal? His son gets off his job from Taco Bell. He comes on SmackDown, right?
Holy shit.
Isn't that the kid that was really
Oh,
Eddie
boy.
Guerrero's kid
Well,
at
yes.
one point?
Rey
supposedly
Mysterio
that was his
adopted
kid.
him.
Yeah.
They had, as you do in the legal system, you have a ladder match for the paperwork for the child custody of
Yeah.
Dominic. Dominic, I think, is actually training to be a wrestler.
Oh, good.
I think so.
Dominic looks more
So
like Samoa
they
Joe
battle
than
through
Rey
this
Mysterio.
kid. Rey Mysterio finally wins the kid back, and then the kid's working at Taco
I
Bell.
love that match, too. That ladder match I thought was good.
Who says America isn't the land of opportunity?
That's it.
Can I take your order?
You guys are terrible.
Ray.
What? So he talked about...
So wait,
Yeah,
on
go
that
ahead. I'm
U.S.
sorry, I'm
belt,
sorry.
they took a little juice out of it, having Kofi beat Joe.
Oh, yeah.
They should not
I
have
love
put
when they do
Randy
that.
Orton and Joe in that match.
That was so
That was a
bad.
mistake.
It's the
Mistake.
same reason why I didn't like when Kofi
Awful.
beat Daniel Bryan 2 weeks in a row. In a tag match, I think, and then in a non-title. Or in a...
You know
different
what?
gauntlet.
That's Ric Flairish. Ric Flair used to lose these guys all the time in all different situations.
And then
It
win
don't
when he
really
needs
matter.
to, yeah.
But you can't have guys that are trying to build themselves for WrestleMania lose in a fucking gauntlet match. It's like, honestly, you got Corbin losing his fucking
Apollo
match
Crews.
to Apollo
Corbin,
Crews.
I don't mind Corbin losing because you would think Kurt Angle's going to go over. Just like when Drew McIntyre lost.
Yeah,
No, I'm sorry, Rollins lost.
Why-
You
why
expect
haven't-
Rollins to
That
lose.
is horrendous booking.
For-
You have Kurt Angle announcing his final
Oh, that's-
matches are going to be
I agree
against
with
Baron
you.
Corbin,
It's a weird one.
and now he's getting pinned by Apollo Crews.
Oh, well.
That is
Well,
horrible.
they had to come out and say, "Oh, WWE Universe not happy on Twitter." Like they had to admit to it. That's why I think they're going to leak
They're
something
just
else.
milking it.
Um,
The outrage.
I know you guys love the cruiserweight action, where cruiserweight champion Buddy Murphy takes on Long Island's own Tony Nese.
I love Tony Nese.
Tony Nese is awesome.
I like Buddy Murphy.
Tony has just finally got his opportunity.
Finally, Maverick back in the old NYWC days.
That was his name.
Good wrestler.
Yeah,
Maverick.
Bunch of good matches back then.
Maverick.
And
Is that's almost like
James Garner?
no, what was it
Maverick.
Maverick, that's-
Nike man? What's that? Tiger
Puma boy.
Puma boy.
Puma mask.
Hey, I think I'm gonna make my wrestling name Maverick.
Okay,
What
Top
the
Gun.
sometimes it's
Fuck,
just
man.
given to you.
What about
Come on.
Maven?
Hey, I need to make a wrestling career because I want to be a professional wrestler. I'm going to go to someone who's going to
How
give
about-
me the career advice. I got a great name for you. What would that be? Maverick.
Hold on.
Cowboy.
Your buddy Trent Beretta that you had on the show?
Yeah.
Trent? Yeah, in NYWC, he was Plasma.
there
Yeah,
you go.
yeah, that's
So
that's
no doubt.
rough.
And finally,
They should have called him Mute.
we only have one entrant announced so far.
This guy.
But the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, which we all know ends up meaning nothing to the winner.
Right.
That's exciting.
But the Monster Among Men, Braun Strowman's in that one.
Hey, we got nothing to do. We got nothing for Braun, so just throw him in the battle royal. You know, I'm interested to know the was it the G5 at the
G1
Garden?
Supercard.
All right, so real quick,
Yes.
is G1 Supercard sold out?
Yes, from what I understand, it is. I don't know if that's
Is that in California?
a gimmick.
It's at the Garden.
Oh, that's the going
the show at
the
the Garden,
Garden
yeah.
this year. Okay,
As far as I know,
didn't
it's
they
sold
do
out.
that in California when they first started doing this?
They've done G1
Last year?
Yeah, they did G1 special.
Right.
So
Okay.
It's a New Japan
So
thing.
you think it's sold out? That's pretty good then.
That's
They
yeah.
sold out.
It's they say sold out. In
What's a
about 10
sell,
minutes.
what's a sellout in the Garden nowadays? Because
What-
back in the day, it was
20,000.
20,
The Garden
21,
probably
right?
It's around
holds-
20,000, 19,000.
And by the way, you're
Yeah.
going to Kiss tomorrow night.
I'm going to Kiss
Oh,
tomorrow
nice.
night.
They're not sold out.
So what?
Shockingly enough.
Fine.
No, I'm shocked.
I'm not
Yeah,
that
I'm shocked.
shocked.
You ever seen Mini Kiss?
I knew you were going to bring
I
up
have.
Mini Kiss.
I actually have.
I
yeah.
did. They're
There's a
awesome.
radio show
Many
out there
years
that's got
ago.
Mini Kiss on. I think I heard to like get a couple of weeks or some shit.
The G1 Supercard is going to be amazing.
Let's
And
hear the roster.
So basically, it's New Japan and Ring of
Get
Honor.
ready.
Is
He's going to have
Puma-
a
I know.
field day
Puma
with
Boy
this.
Oh, please. I can't even
Yeah.
wait to see this.
He's
So-
already whacking it to pieces.
Show.
Go ahead.
Go
As we
ahead,
mentioned
okay.
earlier, the IWGP Championship will be defended. Jay White will defend against the winner of the New Japan Cup, which is currently going on
What's his
over in
name?
Japan. Jay White.
Switchblade. Jay
Switchblade,
White.
Jay White.
Okay. Jay White.
Jay White. Very exciting. Yeah, White. Jay
In the-
White.
Fine.
It's
good name.
Your arms raised. Yeah, hair. The hair on your arms raised. It always.
So
had that
what's he
effect on me.
doing, Jay White? Is he wrestling like one person right now?
Well, yeah.
Wait till you see the
he's in
size of
charge
this guy.
He's in charge of Bullet
Oh,
Club.
he's like 3'4". You'll go wild when you see this guy.
He's the leader of Bullet Club.
You know
and he's
Daniel Bryan? He's massive compared to Jay White.
reigning
Massive.
IWGP Heavyweight Champion.
Then who's he wrestling?
They have it's the winner of the New Japan
Bill
Cup that they do.
Ferguson.
the
Who do you
tournament.
think's going to win
Oh,
that
doing right
tournament?
now.
Is our boy Trent in the cup?
No, at least he's not still in it. I think he's out.
Who do you think's going to win
I
that
don't think he's in
tournament?
it. Zack Sabre Jr. I think
Interesting. Where do you see Zack Sabre Jr.?
he is
I'm
amazing.
like Hulk
Slow
Hogan
down. What's
standing
his
next to
name?
him.
Zack Sabre Jr.
Saber. Okay.
Yeah. Where do you see this guy? You go
but-
wild.
There's 2 unification matches
All right.
happening.
This is exciting.
So the first one, it's going to be the IWGP Heavyweight Tag Team Championship against the Ring of Honor Tag Team
Wait a
Championship.
minute. Heavyweight tag team
There's
champion?
2 tag team divisions in New Japan.
Yeah,
Oh, I
there
did
is.
not
They
know
have
that.
a junior
Okay.
heavyweight tag team champs. You'd love that division.
That's great.
Yeah.
So we have the Gorillas of Destiny,
Gorillas.
Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa, who are the sons
Wait,
of Haku.
Tonga?
Those
Tonga
are Haku's
Tama.
kids. Yeah.
Tonga Tama.
Tama-
Tonga.
Excuse me, you get me
Tama,
confused.
Tama,
Tama
Tama.
Tonga and Tonga Loa.
Okay, Tonga.
Yeah.
Oh, they
And
really
it's-
got to be big.
Well, they're managed by Dick Hung Loa than Tonga Loa, but that's a whole nother story.
Okay.
Go on.
Gorillas of Destiny.
I'm sorry, your mom's
G.O.D.
watching. What am I doing?
It's all right, don't worry.
Anyway,
Gorillas of
sorry.
Destiny versus-
G.O.D. Yep.
Okay, G.O.D.
Versus the reigning
G.O.D. Guaranteed overnight delivery.
the
Gotcha.
reigning Ring of Honor Tag Team Champions, Villain Enterprises of Brody King and the Maniac PCO, who we all remember as
Where the
Pierre
Briscoes?
from
Yeah,
the
yeah,
Quebecers.
that's a big dude. That's a big guy.
What happened to the Briscoes? Where are the Briscoes?
Well, they just lost the titles at 17th
okay.
anniversary, so
Damn! All right.
that match is going to be
Yeah,
ridiculous.
PCO's a big dude. That sounds
PCO's
a big
nuts. He's legitimately nuts. And
Right.
he headlined the Garden 25 years ago as a tag team
Who is
champion
this?
for
Carl
WWE.
Oulet? Who's this PCO
dude.
guy?
No, it was Pierre.
Jacques and Pierre, the Quebecers.
Wait, he was a
okay,
tag team
okay.
champion?
Quebecers, yeah.
No, but no, it wasn't. It was the 2 Rojo brothers.
They were never tag champions.
Oh, that's right. So yeah,
the
that's right. It
Quebecers
was the.
beat the Steiners in a provincial
That-
Quebec rules
That's
match
right. Okay.
on Raw.
So PCO is the guy that Shawn Michaels screwed in Canada.
That's
Yes.
the guy.
That's the guy.
Okay.
That guy.
Okay.
He's 51 years old
Our
and he
friend
takes
Sean.
bumps like there's no tomorrow.
All right.
It's
Go
great.
ahead.
In a triple threat match for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship, 3 organizations are in this match. Representing New Japan, the defending champion, Tajiri Ishimori, against CMLL's Dragon Lee, that's out of Mexico, against Ring of Honor's Bandito. That
Bandito.
match is going to be ridiculous.
Hi, I want to be a wrestler. What could my name be? I got a good one. Bandito.
But he wears a bandana, like a bandito.
Oh, so he wears.
He wears a
Does he have like guns too?
You
like
know
Miller?
who his,
Not
you know who
Tostito.
his nemesis is, don't you?
No.
Tostito. He's very.
Tostito.
He's
You're pretty funny.
He's
tonight.
one bad
You're
mofo.
very funny. Tonight.
He's one
I
bad
gotta give you a lot of
mofo.
credit. And he's quick.
I'm not even awake. Oh, imagine if I was awake.
Good.
Unbelievable.
In
By
the
the way, this match is
Tostito.
just going to be a flippy flop pancake
It's
fest.
probably going to be, yeah.
Okay.
I'm not
What else
crazy
you
about
got?
those. Speaking of flippy flopping,
Damn, not one Nakamura
Unified.
anymore over there. What's going on?
in a unification match for the Ring of Honor World Television Championship and the Never Openweight
Wait a
Championship.
minute. So I got a question.
Oh, this is
I have a
interesting.
legitimate question
Yes.
here. The World Television Champion, but they have no television.
No, they have
show.
internet
They're on
TV.
TV.
It's on once a week.
They're on.
It's
no,
on
they're
internet.
So wouldn't that be like the?
Do
internet
they have a
There's
channel
There's
now?
somewhere.
Wouldn't
They're
that
on
be?
the
You see,
internet
no one
once
even
a
knows
week.
where they are.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm the television champion that no one watches.
They have an
Sinclair
internet TV
Network.
show
Back in the
once
day
a
when
week.
you were the television champion, you defended on TV every
Yeah,
week.
like TBS.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
And you
No,
had to
you're
beat
right.
him in the first 15 minutes. If not, then the
Right.
title was on
Ding,
the
ding,
line.
That's
ding,
right.
ding,
No,
ding,
but
there's a
instead,
draw.
you're a television champion.
Aren't they on Area 22?
You know, you should. Wait a sec. Oh.
Now you're in trouble again.
What I do?
You fucked
No.
up again?
No. No.
No.
No.
Go ahead. Who's he wrestling against?
The never Openweight
great.
champion Will Ospreay will put his title on the
Excellent
line
wrestler.
against
Excellent.
Ring of
wrestler.
Honor World Television champion Jeff Cobb,
That's a
who
good
is also
match.
another amazing
That's a
wrestler.
good
I gotta
match.
tell you.
That's a good match.
And it's an exciting
That's
name,
interesting.
too. It's
Oh,
just-
you're
No, here's
Jeff
the-
Cobb.
hold on.
You know who he's gonna? You know who he's managed by?
Who?
Paul Bond. What do you think?
I want to say this.
Bill Ferguson.
Wait a minute. Coming, weighing 205 pounds.
Watch
This
your
is your main event. Here
Dan
comes
Smith.
Ted Cobb. What the fuck,
Watch
man?
his match and you'll be different. That was the big way when all these guys left Ring of
Get a
Honor and
gimmick.
New Japan, like Omega,
Oh,
the
yeah.
Bucks, and all that.
Wait a minute, you said it was open weight?
The never
champion?
open weight championship.
What does never open
Right.
weight mean?
It used to be like a weird like division over in Japan. It's a New Japan title.
But what does it mean?
No one really knows. Well,
Oh,
it never
okay.
stands for something, but I don't remember what it is.
Yeah, I don't.
This is
I don't.
great.
I don't know what it
This
means.
is great.
I think Suzuki held it for a while.
Oh,
though,
there was a
didn't
few guys who held it. It was
Yeah,
a big
that was
title.
good.
All right,
Those
what else
have
we got?
the- Two more matches.
A title with no parameters.
Well,
It's great. What's it up for? I don't know.
The Ring of Honor World Championship will be defended at the Garden in a triple threat ladder match.
Make this count, please.
Jay Lethal, Marty
Awesome.
Skrull,
Great.
and Matt Taven.
That's a sick match. Matt Taven bores the piss out of me, but that's still going to be a pretty sick
Taven
match.
and Lethal went 60 minutes at 17th anniversary last week, and it was an amazing match.
Taven does nothing for me. Why?
He is
Tell me
60
why.
An Iron Man.
This
Lethal's
no, it
great.
wasn't an Iron Man match. They just went Broadway. So,
My-
this
I saw Backlund against Morocco in a
I,
60-minute Broadway. Now you got fucking Tony Khan.
no, it
against-
doesn't anymore.
Hey, let's play a.
Ay,
you know
ay,
what?
ay. I actually
let's
like
really,
Ring of
let's
Honor.
really.
I
Teach,
think
hold
they're
on,
in a
hold
little
on,
bit of a
hold on.
slump
Let's
compared to where they
really
were a year
teach-
ago.
Let's really teach these
You know what I
wrestling
mean?
fans. I'm going to teach them a lesson. Tonight we're doing a 60-minute Broadway. Can you imagine us sitting in the audience? Like, let's get the fuck
I can imagine me sitting there at the 20-minute
This
mark.
is not happening.
Come on. No, come on. Let's do it first. All right, I'll go. Believe me, it's never that long. I'll
Another
teach these
armbar? I can see it.
I'll teach these guys something. We're going 60 minutes.
Oh my god.
Puma Kid. Good. What else?
You don't get this on Talking More Wrestling every Saturday at 6
No!
No.
No.
But this is the match I think should have been one-on-one at the Garden. Should have been Jay Lethal, Marty Skrull for the title.
I'm
Is what it is.
legitimately scared that the Garden sold out for this.
No, here's the thing. Here's what I was going to say. When
We
the
should have put on
tickets-
a wrestling match.
When the
When
tickets
Hold on.
went out up on sale, there was high speculation that they would have other names.
Kenny Omega, Cody.
Yeah.
So just shoved it right up
That's-
everybody's
No,
butt.
and when they
sold
left, people
out,
were
yeah.
worried.
Well,
You know what?
Because Kenny
It
went
so-
somewhere
it
else.
Sounds,
He
it
goes,
sounds
"See
like
ya."
a show that's going to be on March 28th, announcing a whole bunch of famous people going to be there. Instead, they're going to get a beer can.
2 more.
Wait a minute! I thought you
I
had
thought Austin was going to be here. It's a beer can. It's just a beer can. Well, he drank it.
You're supposed to have mini kiss.
Austin
You're
drank
supposed
that
to have
beer.
This guy, that guy.
I'll pass you, Mini Kiss.
Where's
You got
Hulk
me.
Hogan?
You got me.
Where's Hulk Hogan?
All right, I don't want to make fun of this.
No, I know. It's,
You're a little
yes,
late.
you do.
2 more matches.
That's all you've been doing. What else
Listen,
you
my-
got?
I'm tortured just listening
Larry.
to them.
My
Who's that?
The wrestling
favorite-
nerd is being destroyed here. Go
favorite
on.
wrestler, my poor mother. My favorite wrestler in Ring of Honor, Dalton Castle,
I love Dalton Castle.
is taking on from Mexico.
You would like him. You would like him.
Roosh.
Oh, what a great
Why are they wasting Dalton
Are you
Castle?
kidding me? Watch
Again.
Watch a Roosh
We
match.
come up
It's
with a
spelled
better
What
name
is
than
Roosh?
Dalton
R-U-S-H.
Castle?
It's Rush, but it's Roosh. Dalton Castle.
Where's he
I cannot-
from? Why don't I know this
What is he
already?
from?
I think from
Roadhouse?
Mexico.
Dalton?
Oh, what? AAA?
Actually, he's
Or CMLL?
I believe CMLL, but he.
How the hell did you become aware of him?
Created-
You were YouTubing CMLL?
I know CMLL's been around for.
Wow, you are a nerd.
I am.
Wow. I'm impressed.
Roosh started Los Ingobernables.
Don't bring me down. Roosh. Who the hell is Roosh?
Again, when you
Well,
want
I
to
saw
go to
him
these
the first
events,
time
you
on
want to
pay-per-view.
go
You're
to
just-
the guys'
You're just getting
names.
familiar with him
Yeah,
recently.
and he was
I
him
feel
and
better.
Bandito had a match. And it was fantastic.
Okay.
So
Hey,
I know we.
Bandito right there. There's a picture of a Bandito and a horse.
I'm not sure how much time we have left. I
Jim
also want to talk
Savelli
about
put a picture of
Takeover.
Bandito. Yeah, we'll do Takeover real quick. We'll run through it quick, Miller. We'll be out of here.
Well, there's only 4 matches.
Yeah.
Signed, so.
Oy, oy, oy.
But G1 Supercard, honestly, check it out. Order. I know I do this a lot. I really.
Especially if the mic's plugged.
I'm there.
Check it
do.
out.
I'm there. I am there.
Check
I
it
got the tickets.
out.
Check it out.
And of
Are
course,
you going?
I am. I
You
got
got a
tickets.
spare
I
ticket?
got
I'll check it out.
I got
Match.
Friday. I got Friday morning.
everywhere, dude.
Friday morning, I'm going to the Ring of
You're
Honor.
picking up Bandito at the airport,
Yeah,
aren't
probably,
you?
yeah. I was supposed to pick up Vader at that wrestling show. I
He's
was
gonna have
go.
a signed Bandito.
But Vader no-showed. Sabu, I think, no-showed. Or just changed.
Gee, what a
Not
wow,
no-showed.
shock.
No
They
way.
canceled.
No way,
It
I
Sabu.
can't
They
believe,
canceled.
can't believe it.
was supposed to be Vader versus Sabu in 2017.
Hey, Sabu no showed us.
Can you imagine what that would have been
Still
like?
showed
He was
everybody.
too big for us.
Yeah.
Friday.
Jerk.
Friday.
Him and his stupid 80-year-old genie walked
Oh my God. Oh yeah.
Friday morning, I'm doing the Festival of Honor, which is like their meet and greet for Ring of Honor. Friday night, I got Takeover. Saturday's a G1 Supercard. Saturday morning, I'll hit the Superstore. Over
You gonna
at
take some
Brooklyn
acid to keep you awake this whole weekend?
I'm gonna have to. Sunday
Time for another
WrestleMania,
show, man.
and I'm doing a tailgate party in the parking lot of MetLife. before WrestleMania, so come check that out. I will be live streaming and broadcasting.
That's cool.
And then Monday's Raw, Tuesday SmackDown. I'm off Wednesday and I'm back to work Thursday.
God,
At least it's local. At least I get to sleep.
Yeah. I gotta give you a lot. I gotta give you a lot.
I
of
love
credit.
it. I love it.
So
So
never get married, bro. You ain't doing that shit when you're married.
There's a whole bunch
No,
of
chicks
people
love
get
that.
married.
Honey, I'm going to the World Series every game. Yeah, they love that. Yeah, happy marriage.
not even
Oh, by the way, it's
baseball. He's off the
WrestleMania
scene
week.
of- Yeah, it's off the scene of wrestling.
It's the fact that I'm not married, which is why I can afford to go to all
I gotta give you a lot. I gotta
That's
give you a lot
true.
of credit.
There wouldn't be any
It's
money.
crazy that you stayed single this whole time.
It's shocking.
No, not really.
Shocking.
Not shocking.
Shocking.
Not shocking.
It's crazy.
And
I'll have another plate of meatloaf.
it'll be me and my pop going, so we're gonna have a good time.
Nice.
Oh, I met
nice.
this girl
Excellent.
on Match. Oh, let's come down to my basement. Oh, really nice wrestling belt you got there. Larry.
No, they'll walk in. They'll walk in. They'll see the one because I had the Hogan one.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, that's cool. Then if things get interesting,
I guess you like
then we
wrestling.
move into the.
So
bedroom.
what,
That's
let me
the
ask you
problem.
this.
They don't get to the basement.
Listen, it's all about full disclosure here.
I'm an open
All right.
book.
When you go to bed,
Don't
do you
tell
do you
him
wear
that.
any
What are
kind
you
of wrestling
doing?
gear to bed?
No,
What?
I do not.
on.
I do not sleep in that ring that's a bed. That's the meme that goes around on the internet. I don't have that. I don't have
You
wrestling
don't put on like
sheets
a Hulk Hogan
anymore.
bandana.
Dude,
and
you
those
don't have
clothes.
like
You got the
Ultimate
encyclopedia.
Warrior days.
Yeah,
Come on,
come
bro.
on.
Oh, you have
Blue-
the encyclopedia under the pillow? What are you talking
Remember the old
about?
blue
I
Hulk
can't.
Hogan workout weights?
Oh, yeah.
No, stop.
That's how I first
Got the
started.
Superfly snooker.
His alarm
pillowcase.
goes off in the morning. I am a real man. I mean, what's going on?
Oh, you people. Are...
Larry, your alarm's going off. Real American again.
Good night, Larry.
Good morning, Larry.
Good night, Larry.
It's time to wake up. We got the moves. And it's 9 a.m. Go to work and eat your breakfast. What is going on?
Larry, you could come on every week.
Oh, stop.
This is the greatest thing.
Oh, my God. He's our roving reporter.
All right,
He's our eye in the
quickly,
sky.
let's
All right, let's
there's a
run
lot of
through it.
wrestler fans that need to hear what's going on in 3 weeks. We gotta
NXT has a number
and
one contender,
we're
baby.
almost out of time. What do you
Yeah,
got?
let's do. Only 4 matches signed so far for NXT
Thank
Takeover
God.
New York. Not to be confused with Brooklyn, though it's the
God.
same building. For the North American
wrestling show.
North American Championship, the Velveteen Dream
I hate it already.
will defend against Matt Riddle.
I
Matt
love
the
that.
original
Don't you start. That's the king of bros, bro.
Oh, that's a bro.
He's the king of bros, bro.
He's the wrestling.
He's
Giselle.
great. He's
Bro.
great, bro. That's gonna be a great,
That's gonna be a good match.
great
There
match.
has not been a bad takeover yet.
Velveteen Dream's
Not a bad takeover yet.
great. That's gonna be a great match. What else? You
The
Wait,
women.
I'm going to tell you,
Go.
first of all, you know why there's never been a bad takeover? Because people are so jacked up for the pay-per-view. They're just so jacked up.
You know what though, Mike? You know what though? It's the
Right,
old.
this is the first
Here's what's old school that I like about NXT that I can draw a parallel to when we were kids. It's 1 hour, once a week, like we used to watch.
Right.
The storylines develop slowly and maturely.
Right.
And then there's the payoff every once in a while, not constant. There's the big payoff.
Yeah, cool.
It's good.
Yeah.
I like it.
The storylines, and Triple
You
H
know?
is doing amazing with it.
He's doing great.
The NXT Women's Championship is on the line in a fatal 4-way.
That bothers me, this match, but that's a whole nother story.
Shayna Baszler,
I love her.
the only
She's great.
two-time champion, will defend against Bianca Belair,
Can't stand her, but okay.
Kairi Sane,
Please.
and Io
Is
Shirai.
that,
Even
is that
more,
the Chinese
please.
girl with the
Yeah.
sailor outfit?
Yeah.
What's that
I
doing?
know.
Japanese.
I'm
I don't
Chinese
know.
and I'm
I don't
wearing a sailor
want to
outfit.
know.
She
I
walks
just
around
wish
with this,
Godzilla would
it's like,
capsize
what are
it,
you
whatever
doing?
it is.
Io Shirai is awesome. All right,
Anyway,
fair
go
enough.
ahead.
The WWE United Kingdom Championship will be on the line and in severe jeopardy, in my opinion.
Is that Walter?
Pete Dunne against Walter?
Oh my God, I love that.
This match
It's-
is gonna be awesome.
His name
I
is
can't wait.
Walter?
Why
All
love
capital.
Walter? You leave
All
Walter.
capital
Oh,
letters.
Walter's
Walter.
great. Walter's great.
No,
I
watch
love
Walter
Walter.
match. Watch Walter
You
versus
know?
PCO.
You know I heard he's fighting next month?
Who?
Kenneth. You never heard of him?
You're very funny.
I do love Walter.
No,
I think he's
Walter,
great.
that match is going to be
He's
the best
great.
match. And I'm guessing
That's fucking hysterical. It's funny as shit.
It's going to be a great match, Larry.
Hey,
And I'm
listen,
going with
if
Walter.
you're looking
to take
for
the title.
I think
wrestling
so.
on
I
this
think
show,
so.
it ain't
Wouldn't it be
happening.
cool if they had like some kind of controversial ending? Maybe milk that cow for another one?
maybe another 60-minute Broadway.
No, great. Oh, my God.
That'd be nice.
And finally,
Nice.
Tommaso Ciampa unfortunately
I
had to
don't wait.
relinquish the
Hold on. Pornhub, NXT. Pornhub. I know Pornhub. Go ahead, next.
And Sika for $20. Go.
So Tommaso Ciampa, one of the best heels in the business
Yeah.
today, unfortunately.
Stepmother.
Neck surgery.
Having sex.
Stepmother! Look at you categorizing! You actually look at the icons! Oh, what's this? Midgets? Maybe, perhaps? You're out of your mind!
No, Walter.
Walter, yeah, Walter on Pornhub?
Oh, I don't think so. I
I'll
hope
type
not.
in Walter, see what comes up.
Walter and Kenneth in
I hope
shower. In shower. This is a soap on a rope match. Ding, ding.
Sorry, Ma. Sorry.
Oh, wow.
So Ciampa had to relinquish the title. So now, for the NXT
Yeah, Ciampa's
Championship,
hurt again. That
So
sucks.
it's a vacated title.
Sucks
the
that
title's
he's hurt.
vacant. I
used to love when we
How
said
much does it
vacated
suck that
titles.
he's hurt?
and terrible.
It's terrible. I
Terrible.
hate this. I
No,
love
no lies.
Ciampa.
He's amazing.
I
But
love him. Ah.
in one of my favorite stipulations in a match,
Tragedy.
2 out of 3 falls. We're going old school with this one. Johnny Gargano
Yep.
against Adam,
Adam Cole, baby. That should be good.
2 out of 3 falls.
Could be a great match. That should
Now,
be great.
it would have. I'm assuming it would have been Gargano versus Ciampa 2
Right.
out of 3,
Which
would have been
great.
off the page.
I think
but I'll
this is
take
going to be
this.
off the page too.
And hopefully this starts Undisputed Era's quest for gold in 2019.
Right, that would be fine.
NXT. So
Okay.
that, my friends, is WrestleMania weekend.
Very,
There you go.
very exciting. I'm on the edge of my seat.
Yeah.
All right, so
Pornhub or WrestleMania? That's what we learned from Mike.
That's
tonight.
gonna be
get both.
that's gonna be the end of the show. We want to thank Larry Mormon from More Wrestling, right?
Talking more wrestling.
Talking More
MOH.
Wrestling. Sorry, you threw me off my.
Don't worry about it.
Tracy Lords for
But
50.
I gotta tell you, I do watch it. I
It's
do
terrible
enjoy
to
it.
talk to,
I
remember.
like the way that you keep kayfabe alive.
Thank you. Thank you.
Don't forget, this Saturday at 10 a.m. we have WWE Hall of Fame wrestling legend Tito Santana in studio. He'll be
There you
signing
go.
autographs and taking pictures and doing a 1-hour interview with Monty Nefaro. And if you again, when you watch Monty Nefaro, if you want to find how it felt to win the Intercontinental Championship back in 1987, it ain't going to be asked. All right, so what to say for Monty? This is Nefaro. Want to set us out?
Arriba! See you Saturday.
Have a
Later.
good day.